Hey guys, it's Tyler here, and I'm back again with another hair tutorial video. So I think what happened in my last hair tutorial video, people didn't really understand the point of that video. It wasn't to kind of do a step-by-step, it was explaining general points, like sectioning hair and stuff like that, which could work for any type of hair, even any texture and that kind of stuff. So people didn't really understand that. So today I'm back at it again. I'm going to explain more and more in depth so that kind of makes it clear for you guys, because I guess in my last video I wasn't clear enough. So I'm going to explain it with different textures, different genders and stuff like that, and this video will be a little bit longer. So first thing is, in my last video I mentioned how you have to start with a point on the hair, and right now I'm going to start with textured hair, like curly, thick hair, and then I'm going to draw an afro, and then I'm going to draw male hair. Those are the three that I kind of missed out on in the last video. So, oh no, okay. So first what we're going to do is, usually we have the head drawn, right? And this, you don't have to do this. This is my recommendation, the way I like to draw hair. It's like, you don't have to do it. It's just like tips, ideas, blah, blah, blah. Okay? So anyway, so we're going to draw curly hair first. And the way I like to draw curly hair is I start with a point. So I'm going to draw side-parted curly hair, right? Oh, and I'm also going to draw like dreads and that kind of stuff too. So what I'm going to do when I draw curly hair is I'm just going to kind of just do little light squiggles like this. This one is going to be short curly hair, so it doesn't take as much time. But do you see how I'm kind of originating them from this one point? So the way I do hair is I just kind of section it out like this lightly, and then I'm going to darken it later and section them out even more, right? So I'm going to start out like this. I'm going to make little stray hairs like that. Hold on, let me zoom in for you guys. Make stray hairs like this, and kind of just make it a little crazy, And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I just don't draw curly hair that often, even though almost my whole family has curly hair. But do you kind of see now like how I'm kind of sectioning it and doing stuff like this? For me, that's the easiest way for me to do it, and then I kind of just color it and shade it like this and blah, 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 and section them out. That was actually a really bad shading right there. I'm going to fix it. So you kind of can see right now like what I'm doing, you know what I mean? Like, you just gotta section them out like this. Curly hair, honestly, for me, is a lot easier to draw than straight hair, which is why I usually focus on straight hair in my videos. And there are different types of curly hairs too, so you kind of got the general idea for this curly hair, right? So let's say we want to do big curls like the loop ones. Then what we would just do is we would draw the strand like this. You know what I mean? Like, that was actually a really bad example. Ruins paper. I'll show you guys right now what I mean, like with the curly hair. I'm just trying to kind of get over all the points without spending like 2 hours on them, because there are a lot of different ways you can draw hair. So next we're going to draw an afro, and then dreads, and then boy hair. Actually, you know what? Let's save boy hair for another video, because boy hair also has a lot of things. So next we're going to draw an afro, and with an afro it's actually a lot easier for me, in my opinion, as well. And I have drawn girls with afros before, and boys with afros. Afros in general, just drawn afros. So after you have the head down, what I like to do is get the forehead down first, and the sideburns like this, and then make a general shape first, like this. And then you can do more curly afros or more thick afros, and kind of just go from there. It just depends on how you want the afro to look, honestly. I'm just gonna do it like really quick and really simple right now. You can add more details to it later and stuff like that, but that's what I do. I usually just draw a forehead and stuff like that. And then with dreads, which are my favorite things to draw, they're so fun, and cornrows and stuff like that, you can pretty much just section them out. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to draw a girl with her hair like this, and I'm just kind of making it like how I would draw straight hair, right? And of course the invisible point right here. Like that. And then do you see how I made like sections? So what I would do after this is I would break them down into pieces like this. And like this kind of tutorial should be combined with my last tutorial, so you should watch both of them if anything, because they both kind of go hand in hand with how they're supposed to be. Sorry, I'm kind of rushing it, which is why I'm like not really drawing it really nicely, but anyway. So yeah, so that's how I would draw it. Hold on. And then you can do little crosses to signify, like, you know, it's a braid and stuff like that. And you know, I wouldn't do too much detail because it looks nice like this, you know what I mean? But if you want, you can add so much more detail. Like, you can make it a braid, like, with all the details. But that would just take a lot of time, so I can't do it in this video, doing all of that in here. So I'm just going to make it like a really simple idea like this. And then, what else can we do? Let's see. The ringlet curls. So let's say we want to do ringlet curls, right? So we're going to have her hair kind of be parted like this, right here. And we are just going to break it down. So it's going to go down like that. So you make like a little invisible like spin like this, like a little swirl like that, and then you kind of just follow it through. And then, let's see. So you kind of go like this. It's a really bad like visual representation of it, because I always struggle with these because I don't draw them that often. But what you can do is kind of just go 1, 2, 3 like a zigzag, and then you break it down like this. Then you have a piece here, and then another piece there, like this. Then a back piece, and then a front piece. You know what I mean? And then kind of just let it go at the bottom like that. So it's kind of weird. Usually I use references for these kind of curls because they're just so annoying to do, and I just don't want to deal with them. I never draw these curls. I usually draw my curly hair like this, and it looks way cuter. Anyway, now actually I did say earlier that I was not going to do boy hair in this video, but I'm going to do it right now. Let's get started. And also, if you guys have any questions about hair, please let me know in the comments. I'm always willing to help, and especially because I know I'm not very good at commentating and stuff like that, so I never really explain things very well. But if you guys need help with anything, please ask me in the comments. Usually I can't respond on other social media like Instagram and stuff like that, because then I just get spammed with them. But on my YouTube comments, definitely go ahead and ask, and I can help. So now we are going to start with male hair. It's the same concept as my first hair tutorial with the female hair that I drew. It's kind of just like picking points and going through with that. And a lot of these can also be applied with male hair. It's not only female hair, of course. Like, this can be male or female. This can also be male or female, and this one as well. Like, whatever you guys want. It's you know, art. You can do what you want with it. So now we are going to start with male hair. And usually what I do with male hair, it's really rare for me to draw spiky hair, so I never really do that. But the way I do that is I would have the face fully drawn out, unlike with female hair. The face and head would usually be fully drawn out. And I would kind of make a hairline, including the sideburns. I would start from there and then make like a forehead like this and go down, because this way it's easier to draw the spiky hair, okay? So now what we're going to do is we can just literally just go for it. So depending on what kind of spiky hair you want, you can just kind of build it up like this. And for me, I'm going to have his part right here for his spiky hair. So you're going to have some kind of imaginary part somewhere for spiky hair. And then kind of build it from there. See? Easy, right? And then if you want to add more details and stuff, you can literally just add them like this. And make sure that this isn't completely straight here. You need to have some empty gaps for like a forehead, because with your hair, you know, like let's say you have a person with a, oh, that reminds me, you guys also asked for hair tied up and stuff. So let's say we have someone with their hair tied, right? So let's draw the head really quick and forehead, whatever. So if we have their hair tied, it's not a straight line being tied up unless you're doing a really simplistic style. But if you want more details, then you're going to have some gaps here to kind of show like the hair strands, you know. So this head shape wasn't good to begin with anyway, but you can kind of see like this. You want these little gaps right here. Let me show you. I'm gonna zoom in some more. Oops, can you zoom? Can you focus? No? Okay. How about now? Okay. So you need like these little gaps right here, like purposely made gaps, like these little W's, to show that, like here too, you know, to show texture and stuff like that. So let's say we want to tie up their hair on from the side or from, let's continue this guy's hairstyle actually. We're going to have his hair be tied up like partially, like a half up, half down. We're going to kind of make strands looking like it's getting pulled up like this. And for me, it's really random. It takes a lot of practice to do this kind of thing, like randomly. So if you're first starting out, it's better to just use references, honestly, for a hair tie. And then you kind of just, you know, bring it in from the back. So do you see how I kind of have them all pulling together like this, and then there's hair down? That's how you would when you would draw someone's hair tied up. If you want to draw it from the back tied up, it's a lot easier even. You just draw like wherever the ponytail is, right? And then you would draw them all gathering to that one point right here. So that's why it's really important to have the concept of pulling hair to one point. Hold on, let me draw the back of the ears. Whatever, that was like super lazy. But the point is that it's all going towards where the tie is. This is all going towards the invisible point of where the tie is. So like with hair drawing in general, like you're gonna have to want one invisible point at least. This guy has an invisible point here. She has an invisible point towards the back here. He has it back there. So it's really important that you have one point of focus for the hair, or else your hair will be a lot harder to draw. This just makes it a lot easier for you to draw, in my opinion. So we're going to draw another male hairstyle, and this one is going to kind of be like the comma hairstyle. It's really popular with K-dramas and stuff, if you guys have seen any K-dramas. Anyway, so what I like to do is I'd have like a part right here, and I would just gather it all like this, right? And see how there's like sections, like there's a section here, a section. That's usually how I like to draw male hair. Since there are less details in male hair, you can literally just draw kind of random sections like this and then add more details later. That's what I prefer to do. It's a lot easier for me to do that than with girl hair. And I like to just shape out the hair and then I fix it later. So it's kind of shaped out, and there's that. For me, male hair is easier for me to draw because I draw male hair more than female hair. But the way I do it is I have like imaginary sections in my mind that I don't show on here. So I would section out here like this. One section, another section, the back section, like that. Do you see it? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 sections. So that's how you kind of want to imagine hair. If you're drawing, for example, a girl with pigtails, you're going to have one section, another section, another, and another. So there's like, what, 4 sections? So then when I actually draw it out, it's going to be like this. And it will look a lot cuter too, so hold on. So you draw like one section like this, really cutely, gathering to this point. And make sure if you're gonna have her have, you know, a bun all the way up here, then she can't really have this hairstyle unless those are actually bangs, like loose bangs. I mean, she can if you don't really want to do it realistically. But you can kind of pull it up like this. And then draw like the puffs or whatever. Like, that's so cute. Oh my god. Anyway. So the point is that, like, you want to show like sections kind of flowing. Even for male hair, female hair, thick hair, curly hair, whatever hair, they have sections. For me, in this case, there's 3 sections here. Do you see that? 1, 2, 3. But I didn't really draw them out. So it's kind of like imagining your own sections. Wow, thank you, truck. Rude. Okay, and then if you want more detailed curly hair, like little cute curls like this, then all you have to do is just draw out that texture in the hair. And now I'm gonna die. No. But yeah, so those are all examples of ways you can use the tips from my first video and combine it into here. Because even here you can see I have sections. Sections. You guys are gonna get so mad at me. I always repeat one word in every video over and over. But yeah, so you can still see that I have them in here. They're still in there. So the rules that I used in my first video are still applied in here. That's kind of what my explanation was, but I guess it didn't really work since I didn't show more examples. But yeah, so there's like pieces that go together into one point. Thick and thin lines, sections, you know, just that kind of stuff. Yep. So I hope that helped you guys, and it kind of explained my first hair drawing tutorial on how to draw any type of hair. This kind of brought it all together. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.